Since prehistoric times, humans have navigated Earth by way of the sky. Well, like clockwork, the sun traces a predictable path from east to west every day. After sunset, stars emerge. Though complicated to decipher, constellations are recognizable in their patterns and offer an intricate map of the inverted world, which a trained navigator can use for precise pathfinding. Now, celestial navigation is something of an anachronism like quill pens and powdered wigs. GPS is today's go-to system, and it's great until it doesn't work. Researchers at universities and some of the world's top tech companies are developing advanced navigational techniques designed to fill in the gaps when GPS fails. Now, for inspiration, many are looking towards desert ants, whose unique navigational abilities have been honed. Although still in their experimental phase, these systems could someday be used to bolster satellite-based navigation or even make it obsolete. Now, have you ever tried to use GPS while traveling through a tunnel or in the shadow of a tall building? Well, you've likely run into the system's frustrating shortcomings. That's because GPS and similar systems rely on signals from multiple satellites orbiting Earth at up to 12,000 miles away. Now, there's about 73 GPS satellites currently in orbit, and at any one time, a handful of them can ping a device almost anywhere on Earth. But if a large enough object blocks a clear line of communication, GPS navigation becomes inoperable. Now, a drop signal is a minor irritation if you're late for a meeting in an unfamiliar city, but for first responders and search and rescue teams, it could mean a difference between life and death. These aren't the only people interested in such a system. GPS-free navigation could help the moon's next visitors, be they humans or robots, map, well, the surface and ensure self-driving never loses track of where they're going. Now, what about this ant that we're talking about? Well, nature is a treasure trove when it comes to inspiration for designs of new tech, and navigational systems are no exception. For the past 4 decades, researchers at the Aix-Marseille University in France, and I probably murdered that name, but I'm learning. I'm not French, okay? Have designed and refined a series of sensors inspired by insect vision. The latest iteration of their work is AntBot, an autonomous robot with a navigation-based system based on the unique senses and pathfinding abilities of desert ants. Now, keep this in mind, desert ants can walk up to 1 kilometer within 30 minutes, and they can return to the entrance of their nest without worrying of getting lost. So they wanted to investigate how to make this kind of navigation work in robots. So they partnered with the French National Center for Scientific Research. Dupiro and his team developed a robot. Julian, he was an engineer there who was working on AntBot, developed a robot which, like desert ants, is equipped with UV light sensors capable of detecting a band of polarized light, which it uses to navigate a celestial compass. Interesting, and I got a photo of it right here on the screen. Now, while navigating, desert ants are able to measure their orientation through celestial patterned light, he explained. When entering the atmosphere, the sunlight gets scattered by the atmosphere, and this results in a specific pattern of polarization, which is symmetric according to the location of the sun. Now, the ants can use this to get their orientation. As an added measure, AntBot is capable of counting its steps to determine its rate of movement relative to the sun. These combined aspects help it pinpoint its location with a precision of up to 1 centimeter per 14 meters traveled. Compared that to the accuracy of about 5 meters for civilian GPS. Now, this system could be used in vehicles on onboard compasses or delivery drones for last-mile delivery. AntBot isn't the only robot using desert ant-inspired navigation. Researchers at the University of Sussex have developed a system that can function without GPS by using algorithms that mimic the desert ant's brain. So, quite impressive. The article goes on to highlight a couple more interesting systems.